Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Super Lunch Post Podcast, episode number 139. I am Brendan. UFC 275, Teixeira versus Prochazka. We are going to go over the prelims here. If you are looking for the main card, I covered that in the last video. We're going to go over the prelims fight by fight, break them down just a little bit, probably a little faster than I normally do on the main cards. And if you like this stuff, if you like MMA, if you like talking about MMA, hearing about MMA, subscribe to the channel. This is what all my videos are pretty much about. That way you'll know when the next video comes out. And if you like this video, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Let's go. All right. Main fight on the prelims. Songwoo Choi versus Josh Culibao. This fight was a banger. So Culibao rocked Choi bad and dropped him, but then Choi recovered in the first round for a couple seconds and then started winging punches of his own. He rocked Culibao back. Man, it was... I know the striking numbers aren't crazy, 17-23 in favor of Culibao, and he definitely did win the round. He did more damage in that first round, but it was interesting watching that one take place. Culibao did get the split decision win here. It was a crazy round, mostly in favor of Culibao, but just a little bit crazy because you also got to see the recovery from Songwoo Choi, his chin, his ability to get back up and want to slang and bang, man. It was a lot of fun. If you did not watch this fight because you didn't watch the prelims or you skipped over some stuff, definitely go back and watch this one. It's worth watching. Choi got dropped again in the second round, and he was also behind on the striking numbers here. You can see 16-19 in favor of Culibao. And I feel like he did a little bit of damage in the second round. He definitely had a better round, but it was not enough. I had Culibao up 2 rounds here, and then Choi with some submission attempts and enough damage to take the last round for himself. So in the last round, it was a little bit more even, and he ended up getting control time here in this third round, 2 minutes of it, and he went for a submission attempt. Okay, they didn't record it, but he was going for submissions. He did get a takedown. He had control time, and he did more damage, I feel like, in this last round. So Songwoo Choi winning this last round, definitely can see that easy peasy. But in the second round, so it was a split decision because, let's see here. Who was the dissenting judge here? Anthony Dimitrov, whatever. My guess is he gave round number 2 to Choi, and that does not make any sense. Choi was rocked really bad. He was down on the striking numbers. He definitely did not make it up by volume or anything like that. There is no way that he won that second round. He definitely did not win 2 rounds. I like the way he fights. I like him, but that was not a good decision there. Or by him, obviously. The right guy won the fight, but that referee had it backwards. I don't know if he just wasn't paying attention or whatever. All right, Maheshate versus Steve Garcia. This was Maheshate's debut, his UFC debut. He got this impressive knockout win. Garcia was rushing forward, basically with his hands down, mid-combo, just big winging punches, and Maheshate was going a little bit backwards and threw a very short, straight right, and it didn't even land on the chin. Landed right here, right, like almost on the neck, and it just put him directly out. He just crumpled on the floor like a piece of frickin' paper, like a t-shirt. It was crazy. Great knockout for him. Great win. This fight was not fun to watch, but this fight was more interesting as far as competitiveness and going forward as far as this division, the middleweight division. Brendan Allen versus Jacob Malkoun. Brendan Allen getting the win here via decision. Rightfully so, in my opinion, and I will go over it similar to what happened on the main card, which I have seen a lot of people very upset about as far as Valentina getting the win because they don't think she did enough damage to outdo it. I mean, I didn't think it was an impressive win by her by any means, but I did have her getting the win here. And for Brendan Allen, it's the same story here. And we can go over it. So in the first round, Brendan was looking okay on the feet, but Malkoun was getting a takedown. He had a very grappling-heavy offense. Allen was like, he hip-tossed Malkoun and got in a mount, but then he ended up back in the bottom. And I said in this first round, if you go off of damage, it should be in favor of Malkoun, in favor of Brendan Allen. And let's look at why. So as far as significant strikes go, and total strikes, right? Total strikes in this first round, 25-13 in favor of Brendan Allen, 15-10 in favor of Allen, right? As far as significant strikes go. Now, takedowns, 1 of 1, and it was a big takedown, right? That was a big flip, which does damage inherently. Slamming a guy down on the ground does damage to the body, so it can be counted towards damage, whereas Malkoun was doing single legs and dumping. Now, each one of those might not have done damage, but control time does count, and he was actively trying to pursue a finish, is what I would say. If he threw a punch or he went for a submission or did literally anything, he just didn't do any of that stuff. Malkoun was just looking for position. And if he was able to do that for a majority of the round, and then Allen couldn't land any damage or didn't retaliate in any meaningful way, Malkoun wins that round. And I think in round 2, that's kind of what happened. The striking numbers were even, and Malkoun, again, was able to hold him down more, and he had some like nice jabs on the feet that he landed. I had it even going into the third round here, so it really came down to the third round. And then in the third round, Brendan Allen had control time, and he did what he actually wanted to do. And the thing is, when he had control, he was doing more damage. And it plays out here in the numbers as well. 18-11 if you look at ground strikes, 11 of 12. Right, so that's what I'm saying. If you want to look at the ground strikes, this is an easy way to lose a fight via split decision or decision, and then be upset about it. And I'll show you why. 0 of 0 ground strikes in the first round for Jacob Malkoun. 2 of 5 ground strikes for Malkoun in the second round, and 1 of 1 in the third. Right, there were plenty of times and opportunities where he did have control, especially in these first 2 rounds, and was in a position to land a couple punches. And it's the same thing that I said. It's the same thing I said for Santos, who fought on the main card. We're talking about a minute difference. You throw one good elbow. You throw a couple punches from the back. You throw, I don't know, even some body shots while you're in dominant position. Literally anything. And you win those rounds. Malkoun could easily have won the first round. Easily. He had the wrestling ability to do it. He had the gas tank wasn't an issue. It's the first round. He had position. He had the ability to win this fight, and he just didn't. Okay? 0 of 0 ground strikes. 0 of 0. You want to see why you lost the fight? This is why. Right here. Right here. This is it. This is the moment you lost the fight. And I know some people get upset at that because they think wrestling is inherently difficult and controlling the opponent. I'm not saying it's not more valuable, and I think wrestling, I've said it multiple times, I think wrestling is the most dominant form of martial arts. I think it's the most important one if you are going to have a successful, sustained martial arts career on average, right? I think it's extremely important, and if we were grading it more heavily, I'd be totally on board with you, but that's not the way the judging criteria goes, so we don't do that. Holding a man down for 5 minutes gets you a round. Holding a man down for 4 minutes, but getting punched and taking a lot of damage for 1 minute loses you a round. You have to have output. You have to have output. That's the end of it. Okay, moving on here. Some smaller guys here. Kyung-Ho Kang versus Dana Batgerel. Or Garel? Batgerel. Good grief. Fun fight to watch. These guys were throwing leather. Dana with a really slow start. He was not able to land. Then he started to pick it up through the second half of that first round. He was able to get some big leg kicks, and he hurt Kang. He hurt Kang with a hook, just a little bit, and he did enough damage. So if you want to look at striking numbers here, He picked it up enough to do enough damage. Later in that first round, 30 came out on top as far as total striking numbers go in that first round, 34-28, and he did more damage visually. He did more damage with an individual punch and multiple occasions. I gave that first round to Dana. Second round, Kang ended up getting the decision here. It was a unanimous decision as well. So here's in the second round. There was an illegal knee from Dana, which went unchallenged by the ref, which unfucking cool. This guy, Thomas Fon, Fon. He the real shit job. Kang rocked Dana early in the second round here. And then Dana landed the bigger ones as the round went on. And then Kang landed lots of stiff jabs that probably won't count as significant strikes, but I thought they should have. And if we want to look at the second round here, Kang only had 33 significant strikes to 43 from Dana. But if you look at total strikes, this is where the total striking numbers do add up for Kang. 33 of 52? That doesn't sound right. Anyway, he rocked it on here. I felt like he did more damage, even though Batgerel did a decent enough job to not get totally blown out and keep it close. I still felt like Kang won that second round. So I had it even going into the third, and then Kang just ran away with it. So the jabs and the distance work from Kang really took over in this last round, and it plays out in the numbers 39-32. The distance striking, everything was done very well. I think Kang did an amazing job. Total strikes. Yeah, I still don't get that. I thought Kang did an excellent job here in the third round, really putting it away and getting his hand raised, putting in enough work to get his hand raised and get the win. So good fight. If you skip some of these fights because it was the first fight on the prelims, go back and watch it. It's worth it. All right, Liang Na versus Silvana Gomez Juarez. Not a super long fight. This Na is supposed to be, this touted prospect from China, and she's, comes from the Performance Institute over there, and she tested out all the highest things, and she's like blah blah blah, and she's the most impressive, whatever. She got knocked the fuck out by Juarez here. It was a really sloppy overhand right, rocking her and following her up to knock her out, but the hook was great. The follow up hook was great. The big overhand right was a little sloppy, but she swings hard, man. I don't know how far that's going to carry her in this division. Usually strawweights don't hit that hard. They can, right? Especially with volume, but the way Juarez throws her shit, she hits really freaking hard. I just don't know if that's the correct strategy as far as longevity in this division, but I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it tried. I've seen the lighter weight classes in the men's side with guys like John Lineker, right, who hit really hard but don't have a really well-rounded game. They're able to stay on their feet long enough to knock you out, and that'll carry them into the top 5, the top 10. But, as far as getting a championship, is that enough? And, that's maybe what we're looking at here. Maybe she's going to be a contender but never going to reach it, or maybe she ties up her game, or maybe she's just that good. And then let's go to the very first slop fest of the night here. This is bad. This is real bad. This fight was a sloppy mess. Ramona Pasqual versus Jocelyn Edwards. Edwards getting the win here. This fight took place at featherweight. Edwards said she'll fight her whenever because she didn't. Normally she fights at a lower weight class. I don't want to badmouth Pasqual again because I think I went kind of hard on her last time I covered her fight, but she does not belong. She's not a UFC athlete as far as I'm concerned, and this has nothing to do with her being a woman. It's the featherweight division. I've been over this a ton of times. Cut weight down to make bantamweight. She's not that large that she couldn't. We're not talking about a Megan Anderson here, someone who's 6 foot tall, lean already, full of muscle, who can't really cut weight. We're not talking about Holly Holm, who's naturally very muscular and has to cut quite a bit of weight to make 135. We're not talking about that. We're talking about someone who probably doesn't cut weight, and if they are, they're not cutting a lot to make featherweight. And then even when they do, they're not very lean. They have a lot of extra weight on them. It's the same problem I have with some of the heavyweights. And here's the thing: is if she was athletic and clearly going out there and highly skilled and all those things, it's fine. It's just like the rest of her game is also really bad. You know, she's not explosive. She's not technical. She has a chin, but what is that going to do you? Except make you take a ton of damage. So, all right. That is it. Kind of ending on a sour note, but overall, a great night of fights. I think the main event was excellent. I think there was a ton of bangers on the prelims here. Good fights on the main card. Overall, not that. I said it in my last video. I think this was a great card. I think it had its letdowns and its moments, but it was overall. I keep saying overall. Who cares? I'm not saying that anymore. All right, I am done. If you are interested in MMA, if you liked this video, if you made it this far, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because I'll let you know you're going to like everything I make. All right, so if you subscribe, you'll see that when my new videos are coming up, I make 2 or 3 of them every single week. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. You're already here. I'd really appreciate it. And if you are interested in the main card and you watch this one first, interesting strategy, go back and watch the main one. If you watched that one already, came over here, you just want to watch this one, that's fine. I hope you all have an amazing week. Love y'all.